Welcome to the Softland Central podcast, your home for market entry knowledge and resources. Softland Central is brought to you by Softland Partners, an online marketplace to help you find best fit resources for your market entry. Find them at softlandpartners.com. We do just have a couple minutes left, and I do want to talk for just a couple minutes about the idea of your thoughts about why having a strong network and having strong partners is important to your business. What is it that sort of is mission critical for you about that? Alice, maybe starting with you, what are your thoughts on that idea?
Yeah, so I think it's two things that are really important. One is having a strong network and partners makes me faster and more expert in doing what I do. I never really get pulled into these conversations talking about things that are not my area of expertise. I just can immediately go, oh, totally, that's a financial question. I want you to talk to one of these three extraordinary partners of mine. And then I'm back to providing the service that I have to provide and, making money for my business, providing value for my client, and solving their problem, right? All three things I want to be doing every single day of the week. So that's number one. But then number two, like you said, I think being the person who is a solution maker for your clients and being a person who is a connector for your colleagues, your partner, your network is something that just increases your value across the board for everybody. And I will say it's really fun. Like being the person who gets to solve a problem, find a solution, know how to get that done is really great. And being, and kind of going back to what I said about why I love the Softland partner community, if we can help businesses connect to the right resources as they come into this country or go into other countries, and they are going to be able to grow faster and be actually successful. And ultimately, that's why I picked, doing people services for specifically entrepreneurs, specifically small businesses, is because I felt like we can make more businesses more successful much faster if we solve this particular problem. And so if we can have a group of people that are all doing that, these companies can come in, they can be successful, they can create jobs, you know what I mean? And really positively influence the economy in the world with what they're trying to solve. And that to me is the most exciting, right? Is when we can all level up and we can be a part of that. That's when I think we're doing what we're here to do.
Very cool. I love it. And Philip, your thought about why strong networks and strong partners are important to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different things, and I definitely echo a lot of what you said, Alice. I think our ability to cut through the noise especially for international companies is really important because they really don't have, for the most part, they won't have even a beginning of which channel to go through and where to begin to look. So it's really helpful. And for one, I don't know why this has been a thing for me, but for my entire life, I've been somebody who gets a lot of joy out of introducing two different people to each other, and seeing that happen, seeing that come through in a beneficial way, they become really good friends or they start dating or so it's even when I was younger, I would host these regular parties, but the goal, it wasn't a one group of friends. It was all of my friends. And then most of them maybe knew one or two other people, but it was a room full of people who didn't know each other. And then they would all come together and become friends. And that was so cool for me. And so when I find an organization or an individual who just does really, really great work, or is just a really incredible domain expert, I get really excited. So when someone's like, I need this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I can't wait to introduce you to this person. I have a lawyer and a law firm that I work with that I love. And I've worked with them. So that's one of the reasons why I love them so much, is because they've done such great work for me. But there's a joy there in doing that. And so it's partially just out of passion of seeing those kinds of things work out really well. And then partially because it's especially hard to cut through the noise when you're an international company coming into the market. And that goes into a little bit of how we don't have a baseline. So I really hate the idea of being a gatekeeper. I think it's really an unnecessary thing to do. And I like the idea of reducing those kinds of, how do we open more doors as opposed to hold it shut. but it's also important to be like, you know, I'm not going to tell you who to and who not to work with, but I can at least say that these people I've seen do well with other people in the past, because that's going to help to sort of help them find the value of that service. Because you know, one of the first clients I worked with, the main thing, like the main value that I provided to them was convincing them not to work with these like two groups that they were currently working with, because they were burning money, and they ended up having to like pivot and sort of like change their entire model, because they had spent so much money on these two organizations. And I just knew, like, I wasn't trying to say like, look, they're not providing a good service, but I knew that they were being paid much more than what I had seen the standard for that type of company. And so that it's important to me to be finding these sort of people who are committed to helping those founders to the best of their ability at the best value for the right price. And that's something that it's nice to be able to find those people and provide that support to other companies.
It all comes back to ethical provision of service, doesn't it? In the end, it's so key, for sure. You know, actually what you were saying, Philip, made me think of just a quick story. It was probably 10 or 12 years ago, my sister developed skin cancer, and, you know, never anything you want to hear. And it was kind of one of those things that I was trying to figure out, gosh, how can I help her? How can I help her? And it was a little difficult in that she was living in Colorado, and so my network in Colorado wasn't good. But I ended up calling a physician who I knew really well. He was a great skin cancer specialist. And literally within about an hour, he called me back and had the best skin cancer specialist in Colorado who was, you know, willing to see my sister that week, which was huge. And, you know, hers was a type of skin cancer that was going to move quickly. And so, you know, it's amazing. The thing that was actually really amazing to me was after my sister was taken care of and she was all good, I called back to the physician in Colorado and to my friend just to kind of let him know how things went. And I asked my friend, I said, you know, what was your motivation for helping? Is this something where you were trying to get, you know, your friend some business, right? You help them join a new country club or something, whatever. And it, you know, I didn't mean for it to be an insulting question, but it easily could be, right? And he said, absolutely not. No, all I wanted to do was get rid of cancer. That was it. And so the idea, I think that, you know, we come to this with, you know, to sort of echo both the sentiment that both of you have talked about, was this passion to help these international companies really be successful, whatever market they're going into, and to remove the friction, whether it's the bad experience friction or the challenge in finding the right or best resource, whatever that friction is, but to help remove those challenges along the way. But this has been fantastic. You both are amazing. I am awed by you both, and I bow very much so. But one-way ticket across the nation, a one-way